Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Live in the Rise with yours truly, Love City's new Bachelorette. August is almost here. The end of August, I will be announcing my decision. Someone texted me, they said, choose wisely. And it's been a minute since I've been on here. And my mom has been in the hospital for 2 weeks. She went into the hospital on the 14th of July. She came out yesterday, the 26th. So it's been about 2 weeks. Um, and the power of communication to righteousness is powerful because I don't like hospitals, but I did go visit my mom once in the hospital, maybe twice, not every day. But I went to visit her there, and um, I don't like hospitals. So I, when a loved one of mine is in the hospital, I tend to go into a deep meditative state where you don't touch me. I'm in a communication to righteousness. So it's my entire physical being that goes into that meditative state. It's draining when you are in communication to a higher force. You have to let go of all of whatever on the earth you're dealing with in the world. You let that go and you give your entire mind, your entire self, physical, your mind, your emotions, your social, to the higher force that is the Most High, that is the Almighty Creator of the universe that made all living creatures to be able to grow and to be in on the earth in abundance. You were promised abundance. Thank you so much for joining. This is your new Love City's new Bachelorette, Live in the Rise. I've been missing for some time. My mom, as I said, has been in the hospital. I've been in a meditative state where I don't go live, but I go in a different space with that. So when I saw the verse today, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being a top fan and for subscribing to this video, for tuning in. I've missed everyone. Those of you who come on and watch my Live in the Rise are risers. So welcome, risers. You all are live in the rise. We're a little bit after the top of the hour, like 22 minutes after the top of the hour. But we're here. And I'm thankful because my mom is out of the hospital and she is recovering. And I'm still going to be in a meditative place to keep the word up, to lift her up in this time. So, it's hard when you have gone to the hospital and you coming back out of it. It can be hard. It can be challenging. It can be, families can get angry. But we do what we can, and we show up when we can. And nobody should judge anybody's showing up and how they show up and how they give and how they help. So, Allah al Nuami. Am I saying that correctly? Thanks for joining, for being in the chat and giving hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. So we're going to get into it here. We're going to get into our verse of the day. That's what we usually do. So those of you who are just joining, we do our verse of the day. We do a word of the day, and it's all foundational on the scriptures. So if you are a Bible scholar, join us. If you're not a Bible scholar, it's okay. But I use the Bible, and we have been in a Bible challenge, and I missed the days of my Bible challenge. However, today is July 27th. This is when I usually go live with my knowing the young child, knowing the young child. So today for July 27th, we're in the book of Isaiah. So those of you who have been in the Bible challenge, we started in January with the book of Genesis. Now we're halfway through to Isaiah 49, and it is quite powerful, if you have to ask me, because I love the scriptures, and reading what is going on in the scriptures is what's going on today. Okay, so we have the word freedom. Freedom is a two-sided coin. That's why I don't use dumb. Nobody should call anybody dumb. We should not fragrantly spray words like that, because it comes back to us. So whatever you speak of about somebody being away or being negative, you're picking that up because you are too that way. So when people tell me, oh, she was mean to you, I'm like, really? She's got to deal with that. I'm not going to be mean back, and I'm not going to think that about someone first. I always think positive about people first, even though they may not be. They reveal themselves eventually. So being free is a two-sided coin. On one side is privilege. You have that privilege. You can do what you want. You can go out. You can, as we know it today. On the other side is responsibility. You have to be responsible for that ability to be free. You have been given so much. You have the breath of life. That's the first thing. And with that breath, what are you going to do to be a vessel for that breath of goodness? Are you breathing kindness, or are you breathing jealousy and envy and hate? It's brewing. What are you doing? So, Isaiah's lengthy book is the detailed way in where Isaiah describes Jesus Christ more than 7 centuries before his birth. So Isaiah is describing someone that's not even there yet. And we talk about God as an omnipresent. We don't see that one, but in each other we see a glimpse of God. When I see you, I see a glimpse of the Creator. When you are being kind, obviously, I also see a glimpse of another entity that oftentimes hold people in its grips. And that entity is hate, it's jealousy, it's anger, it's animosity, it's vengeance. It's all of these ugly things that holds people hostage. You gotta break out of that, and you gotta be kind. You gotta stop being judgmental about people, what they're doing or what they didn't do. You do your part, and you stand in that. So on the 27th of July, we have the Prince of Tranquility. Tranquility is another word I use for peace. Someone told me, peace be on both of you. I said, peace is the diploma you get in the grave. I don't want peace. I want justice. I want equality. Not even equality, because we're all different. Equality is another illusionary word, right? What is equal? We cannot be equal. You and I are different. We're equal in the sight of our goodness. That's what gives us that equality. Our goodness of joy and righteousness of love. So when we look at our Bible scripture challenge today, we're in the book of Isaiah chapter 49, talking about the servant of the Lord. What does that servant mean? restoration of I, restoring us to our fullness of knowledge. And in the time of my favor, I will answer you. And in the day of salvation, I will help you. I will keep you and will make you to be a covenant for the people, to restore the land and to reassign its desolate inheritances, to say to the captives, come out, and to those in bondage, be free. So when we look at this voice of free, what do we see, and how is that manifested? So today we're looking at our verse today, and I'm going to get that going. Our verse today, verse of the day, verse of the day, verse while I drink my tea. Verse. Greetings. Verse of the day. Verse of the day today is coming from Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1. Balanced. I love that word, balanced. Hi, balanced. I love it. Thank you so much for joining. You look like you're new on YouTube, but if not, and you're new on this channel, subscribe and like the video and chat with me in the chat. We're looking at Hebrews 12, chapter 12 verse 1. And Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1 is important for people who are going through domestic violence situations, or people who are alcoholics. People who are alcoholics are angry. They're always angry because of the alcohol. Alcohol deteriorates your brain. The matter in your brain, it just shrinks it. So when people that's why it's always important to think about the source. Who is giving you advice? Is this a person who is angry all the time? Like, I'm not going to listen to a person who's always angry and disrespectful and rude. You're not going to hear them, right? So we are surrounded by this in our world. What do? Hebrews tells us, Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1, therefore, because we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, a cloud of witnesses that have witnessed the grace and the glory of God, right? These witnesses we have been surrounded by. It's time now to throw off everything that hinders, and the sin, the wrongness, the hate, the discriminate, the anger, all of this that so easily entangles. Jealousy and envy, all of that it easily entangles you into a destruction. So we are going to throw that off. Throw off everything that hinders and the wrongness that so easily entangles. So let I run with perseverance the race marked out for us, for I. That's important. There's been a race that's been marked out for all of I. Let us run with perseverance this race. We got to persevere. We got to keep going. We can't stop to hate somebody because they're not persevering like us. We got to keep persevering. We can't stop to think about that person who's jealous, who's angry, who's upset, and who is hurt, who was hurt and now is hurting others. We are not going to stop for that. We're going to persevere with righteousness, because that is what is going to keep ourselves in a good place. So that was our verse today. Yep. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1. Okay. We're surrounded by witnesses. People tell us the good things that are happening to them all the time. Good things that are happening. These are witnesses of the grace of righteousness that is from above. That is what is the most powerful of all. So that is surrounding me. My mom came out of the hospital. she's a witness to the glory and the work of the powerful Almighty. Her, not just the doctors, and the nurses, they're vessels for that one. But my mom is a testimony of the witnesses. She is one of the witnesses, the great cloud of witnesses. So right now, what we have to do is we have to throw off everything that hinders. Everything that hinders. She needs now to be in a recovery at home, relaxing. She doesn't need to hear her children fussing and cussing at each other. She doesn't need to hear that. She needs to hear calmness and love and quiet and tranquility of mind. So it's important, and that's where I come in. I come in that way, to be that supportive one from a distance. I might not be hovering over my mom every second, but I am calling on those powerful beings. They're called angels. They're called righteous ones that fly around from the front of my mom, on the sides of her, back of her, on her feet, all over. So when I rubbed her feet before she went to bed, first night, I call it first night, it's not the last night, because we're gonna have more nights, right? But first night, I'm rubbing her feet. I meditated on the healing power. That's the healing power. Thank you for liking the video, as a matter of fact. That healing power is so strong that it can penetrate diseases and get rid of them. It can heal people where they were blind, now they can see. Like literally and figuratively. Like you couldn't see the way in the light because you were blind to the world and the glitter and the glam and the bling bling and the gold and the silver, right? But you've been unblinded. The blind is going to be able to see. They're going to be able to see more than what the world has to offer and get to see what righteousness is given every day. So, the word of the day, that was the verse of the day, Hebrews. So let's look at the word of the day I haven't looked at for some time. Hi, Alejane. How are you? Our word today for the 27th let's see what it is. Yesterday's word was self-care. We needed lots of that. Authentic. The word today from dailyword.com is authentic. Authentic. Oh my goodness. Authentic. Let's get into the word of the day.
It's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day.
And I have my sage. So this is my sage. Burn some sage. Sage is cleansing. It's really cleansing. It cleanses, it calms, it gives a scent of serenity and tranquility. So if you have a chance to burn some, do that. Also, you need to get some of my healing oils. I make this oil out of organic coconut oil, and a fruit that is called noni fruit, and it's known to have medicinal, pain-killing, healing properties. So this particular oil is in the research and development stage where I am testing it out on patients, on people, and they have responded favorably to it. It heals pain. It also is good for mosquitoes to keep them away from biting. It gives your skin a healing glow. It also is good for eczema. It's good for varicose veins. It's good for, oh my goodness, everything about your body. It heals. It goes into your skin and it heals you from the outside in. It's powerful. So, yeah, it's in the beginning stages right now of production, research and development, as I stated, but it is the most powerful oil, if I can get it open. So you put a drop on like that. Put it on like this. Oh my goodness. Put it on there. And mosquitoes will not come around you. Okay? That's just a must. I put it on in the morning like that, so mosquitoes don't get me. And it's amazing. Oh my goodness. So, who wants to learn English? Yes, send me a message. Send me a message. I can help you learn English. Definitely. I'm a reading specialist. I teach reading to children. So, definitely, I can definitely help you with that. So, send me a message and we can chit chat. So, let's look at the word today, authentic. Authentic. Authentic is brought to us by Romans chapter 8, verse 14. So the word today, the verse today, they're all foundational on scripture. So the word today, authentic, is supported today by Romans 8:14. And in Romans 8:14, for all who are led by the righteousness of God are children of God. So who is leading you? Is anger leading you? Is jealousy leading you? Resentment, animosity? What is leading you? Okay? Because when you are led by righteousness, you become a child of that. Okay? So I am led by righteousness. Righteousness leads me to wherever I'm going. Hold on, everyone. This is... Okay, there we go. I gotta plug stuff in. So, Romans 8:14 gives us that foundation of the word today that is authentic. And I told someone, I said, I am a child of God. Someone said, a family member said, you act like you're 7 years old, you act like you're 5. And then I said, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of Jah. I'm a child of Rastafari. I'm a child of Haile Selassie the First. I'm a child of Buddha. I'm a child of Jehovah Jireh. I'm a child of the Most High. All the names that the Most High has, I am that child of that one. And that is what leads me. You know, that is what guides me and gives me the fortitude to persevere, as we have read in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. We are going to run with perseverance the race marked out for us. So let's read what dailyword.com is talking about with this word authentic. Are you living your authentic life? Are you living one way for people out there, and then when you come home to your family, you're a whole different way? Is it a bad thing to have different communicative methods for different people? Are you honest in all of it? So are you out there being one way, and then in your family you're a whole different way? This is what happened to one woman who was molested by her father. Her father was a music producer, videographer, whatever, and he lived a life in society that was one way, but at home he was molesting his child. So how are you being authentic? Are you being one way out there and then another way? Like when I work with children, I work with young children, I have to be a certain way with them. I'm not gonna, be adult with them. I'm gonna be like a child with them, and get to their level, meet them where they are, right? That means I gotta switch up how I'm gonna approach them. I'm not gonna approach them like I approach an adult. So, but in all of it, it's going to be kindness. So when I'm dealing with my family at home, I'm dealing with them in a different way. Even my own children, I might deal with them differently than I would deal with children I work with. Now, I myself have to learn to stay in a good place with my own children, because they can get me in a way. Especially my son, he left to go out on a date and never returned home at night. He's still out there and hasn't texted and said anything, because he's a he. Were it to be a she, my daughter, I would want to be checking on her every set. Like, why didn't you text me? Right? Because we deal with girls and boys differently. However, both of the children need to be authentic and respectful and text or call their mom and say, I'm not coming home tonight, I'm going to stay out. Something. That's respect. But when we mature in Christ, we will be able to be respectful. When people are not mature in righteousness, in their Christ, in them, they can do these things that are disrespectful. So, Lejeune Mushin, I'm so apologizing that you're not understanding anything I'm speaking of. I speak English, and I use words that are English words, but are specific words that don't have the same meaning as another word. So I use that one word. One word, one sound, one power, one aim, one destiny. And that's righteousness, okay? I don't speak Portuguese. Iliasandro Corderio. I don't speak Portuguese. But let us get into this word authentic and what dailyword.com has to say about it. So, one of the best ways to feel the fullness of divinity, okay? One of the first and the best ways to feel the fullness of divinity is to express the uniqueness of your humanity. Each of us has a unique participatory way. I don't want to call it contribution, but we participate. So starting to learn English, you have to listen to English. You have to listen. See, like this is a picture. That on the wall is a picture. So that's the first word you can learn is picture. That's a painting. Painting. So you can say the word painting. That's a painting. Okay, I'll give you that one word for today. And authentic. Authentic means your true self. That's an English word, authentic. So, one of the best ways to feel the fullness of your divinity is to express the uniqueness of your humanity. There is no one on earth who is exactly like you. No one. There is no one on earth who is just like you. So people say they want to find their soulmate, the person that's just like them. I was thinking that way too. No, there's nobody like me. There's nobody that's going to be like me. There's nobody that is of my divinity and my humanity. We all share a humanity, but we have a uniqueness about that. So there is no one on earth who is exactly like me or you. No one who has my history and experiences. No one who has my particular talents and gifts. I make the world a richer place when I show up as the person I am. When I am too timid to share my gifts, like, you're too shy, you don't want to tell people, I have this gift that I could do, when you carry shame or regret about your past, or you feel afraid to let others see the real you, you're not being your authentic self. So don't carry shame or regret about the past. The past is the past. It is going to be there until you pick it back up and you use it. Don't let it use you. Use it as a learning tool, not as a tool to break you down further. People make mistakes. People have past experiences that they have went through that is part of their past. We don't want to carry, the wicked is who's ashamed. When you're wicked, you're going to be ashamed. You're going to be like, I'm ashamed of this. You're going to be ashamed. Don't be. So authenticity means being who I am with confidence. Okay? Confidence. Yesterday's word came from Hebrews chapter 11, 1. 11, chapter, verse 1. Yesterday. And it speaks of faith. Faith is confidence. So when we are confident about who we are, that's what authenticity means. You have to have faith. Have faith to know that you're okay and that you're going to be okay. And that, guess what? You have an assurance. There's a song, Blessed Assurance. I love that song. Because faith is that confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. I am sure that I'm going to see the glory of the most righteous of righteous. I am assured of that goodness is going to come into my life and that there's going to be no more pain, no more suffering, and we're going to have an abundance of life to the fullness where we share our talents and gifts and they're accepted by people who are also children of the most righteous. So I'm not being my authentic self when I carry shame, regret about my past, or I feel afraid to let others see the real person. So authenticity means being who I am with confidence. And faith is confidence. When people are confident in something, they have faith that it's going to work out. So confidence. I am a divine being, a child of righteousness. I take my place in the world with joy. Joy. Knowing I belong here just as much as everyone else. Rooted in my divinity, I celebrate my humanity by being my authentic self. Bottom end of story. So, where do you start learning English? Is listening to English speakers. I'm learning Amharic. That's the language in Ethiopia. So when I return, I can be able to at least speak some and understand it. It's never too late to learn a language. You just have to listen to it. You have to look at English is the most difficult language because it's got a lot of hidden things. They used the language to oppress people. Okay, that's what the English language was originally used for for oppression. That's why you see lots of words in English. Two words may mean the same thing. They got two words that mean the same thing. It's called a synonym. So, this word today, authentic, rooted in your divinity, you celebrate your humanity by being your authentic self. So for all who are led through the righteousness of righteous are children of righteousness. Romans chapter 8, verse 14. So this ends our time together. Yes, it does. It ends our time together. As we finish out this word today, I want to leave you with the verse, Hebrews, well, not Hebrews, it's Hebrews 12:1. Yesterday was Hebrews 11:1. Today it's 12:1. So we're in Hebrews. And the book of Hebrews really gives a good explanation of what we're surrounded by and what we have within us. So, living your authentic self, how are you doing that and how are you showing up? When I show up as the person I am being my authentic divine self. When I show up and I'm eating the foods that are living foods, not packaged in a box or a can or even in a machine situation, right? I'm eating the foods that come off a tree. That come off of a tree. This is what I want to eat. Foods that come off of a tree and that grow out of the earth. That is the best food for you to eat. Okay. So we're going to end. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your beautiful day today as we outro with our psalm today. Have a blessed day and remember, stand in love, don't fall in it. That's important. Take good care, everyone. Mwah. Take good care, everyone. See you next time. Live in the Rise with your new Love City's new Bachelorette. See who I choose at the end of August. See you there.